Welcome to Analytics Nexus 2019, the premier virtual event for analytics best practice. This presentation is titled, How to Create a Content Strategy that Builds Brand and Pipeline, and will be presented by Amanda Carty. This is just one presentation in a whole series of webinars you have access to beginning today. A few quick items before I introduce this particular presenter. At any time, you can interact with Amanda or other presenters with questions and/or comments on Slack. The Slack address for Analytics Nexus is analyticsnexus.slack.com, and you should have received an email invitation to join if you registered for Analytics Nexus in advance. If you didn't receive that email, you can find an invitation link to the Slack in the menu below, as well as in the resource list. Once you log into the Analytics Nexus Slack, you can find the channel for Amanda to engage. Also, you can engage with us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @analytics_nexus. Finally, for questions on Analytics Nexus or Claravine, which is producing this event, feel free to email us at info@claravine.com. This session will be presented by Amanda Carty. Amanda is currently the Chief Marketing Officer at Diligent Corporation. She is a brand and marketing strategist with a passion for delivering a superior customer experience. She has shown solid ability to redirect and revitalize product lines to generate increased revenue. She consistently leverages market intelligence and strong leadership skills to devise innovative marketing strategies that connect with customers' needs and deliver value. Amanda, I'll turn it over to you from here.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening in today. I'm Amanda Carty, the Chief Marketing Officer at Diligent, and excited to talk to you today about creating a fantastic content strategy that really helps build your brand and, more importantly, your pipeline. So just going ahead and jumping in here. So we're going to jump in and learn about a little overview about Diligent Organization. Diligent Corporation is a very fast-growing technology company. We are based, we're actually headquartered in New York City, and we have offices around the globe. We have 14,000 customers, and we're actually a little closer to 500,000 users. We do have a portfolio of brands under the Diligent umbrella, and you'll see some stats on the side here of some of the numbers of our customers, and you'll see 50% of the Fortune 1000, or 70% of the FTSE 100, and significant amount of customers on the ASX. What Diligent does is we offer technology to for boards of directors around the globe, and we are really building technology to improve governance. You see a lot of companies in the headlines today they're not in a favorable light, and a lot of things are around best practices in the organization, making sure they have the right processes, and making sure when management is meeting with the board is asking the right questions and challenging management and making sure they have the right practices going on in their organization. And we provide the technology that allows boards to do that. So very unique, exciting, and fast-growing market. Now moving to how do you market in a world like this, and it's a unique, we call it our secret sauce in the marketing organization. You may look at this number here on our event side of things, but last year we executed on 244 events around the globe, and that is a mixture of trade shows, customer events, our own prospect events. We had a user conference in there, and that number is actually down since I joined the organization. We've been working to get that down, but this is a very, very highly networked markets. They love to be at events. They love learning from one another. So making sure we're giving that opportunity to our customers and prospects. And then the second piece of it, what I like to call it our secret sauce, is really all about our content and our digital strategy. So alone last year, we created 1,200 articles, and mostly on our blog. Our blog, and you'll see in a little bit, is we have very, very high traffic to our blog. And then we're constantly testing, driving tons of tests on our site to make sure our conversion rates are only improving and finding ways to get people to get to demo. And then we're also ranking for 1,500 keywords, and 700 of them just came in the last year. And this is really all about understanding what our customers are looking for, making sure we're serving up the right content for them. And by doing this, I'm very excited to say that by having this secret sauce that we did and a very tight process with sales and managing the full lead flow, marketing contributed to 81% of bookings in 2018. Not influenced. This is 81% came directly from a marketing channel and entered the pipeline through marketing. This is up from 2017. In 2017, we were around 76%. This year, in 2018, we were at 81%. So phenomenal job done by my team. I'm very excited. I have a fantastic marketing team, a fantastic demand gen team that is very, very data focused. Now we're going to learn a little bit of the steps to make this happen. We really have taken our content strategy and broken it out into a 4-step process, which is setting the foundation, building the plan, getting it done, all about execution, and then all about understanding and tracking the success and making sure you have the right reporting and metrics and KPIs set up so you know how to action and where you need to pivot to make your content strategy even stronger. So let's jump into step 1, which is setting the foundation. It should be no surprise that really it all comes down to your persona and understanding the person and the people that you are marketing to. I know this sounds very like a no-brainer, but really getting deep and understanding what motivates your persona to buy, and the different personas that are involved in the buying process, and really understanding what are their motives and why would they want to have this type of technology in place. So we have done extensive research on our personas. We do a ton of testing with them. We bring all of our messaging and content ideas to our quarterly advisory boards and let them weigh in on it. But we really are going after and really understanding our customers in a very deep, meaningful way. And the directors are, I would say, a key persona, and also our buyers, which are general counsels and corporate secretaries, and sometimes even the CEO admin. Once we understood our personas at a very deep level, we went on and looked at all the different technology options we had to help us with our content strategy. And you'll see the list here. This is what we are fortunate to use at Diligent. The first one being Bright Edge. This one is fantastic. We use this for all of our keyword research. We do our SEO tracking. We can see what our competitors are up to and how our competitors are ranking against certain terms. It also helps us understand if any pages on our website are not working, and it provides some great reporting on that. Visible is our attribution model. So we do the W, we do U, first touch, last touch, allows you to look at all different ways of marketing attribution, which has been very helpful for us. Google Analytics, I think everyone knows that for tracking our website data. We use also the Search Console. And then add this, and this is really a plugin for our WordPress sites. In addition to the technology piece, something that's very, very critical is when you're setting up your pages on the website. The way you structure them is very, very critical to your strategy, and you need to make sure that you are incorporating the right keywords into the different areas. So making sure within your H1 and H2 headings that you have the keywords, making sure behind the images that you are using your targeted keywords. The URL needs to have it, and any kind of meta information as well. So putting these keywords in these different areas is going to allow Google to help you understand your content, and in turn will help you rank better. Okay, now we're going to move on to building the plan. Okay, when it comes to building the plan, I'm going to take you through a little, through some examples of how we did it at Diligent. So it's really about understanding and focusing on your keyword research to lower your cost to acquire a customer. And making sure you are bidding against words that you know people are looking for, and creating and spending money on content that will convert, that is going to help you lower your CAC. So example here, so our boards, we work to boards, right? So they are, the general counsel, corporate secretary, and the admins are taking minutes of the board. So we just typed into our technology, into Visible, board meeting minutes, because we know that this is something that our customers need to do and are looking for solutions for. So it will spin up all the different words that are associated with, but people are search terms that people are typing in related to board meeting minutes. We then took those and then bucketed them into themes. You'll see our themes here on the left, and then it also will tell you what's the monthly volume of those searches, right? So what we will understand from there is then we create our content. So we understand our keywords, we understand how they're grouped, and then we'll create content on that, such as a blog, which we do a ton of blogging, white papers, videos, whatever we want to do to help support our meeting minutes module. And then we promote the content by ensuring the proper SEO targeting is in place. And we also look for partners, right? So we look at other associations or partners or websites that we know our audience are going to, and we look for ways to promote our content through them, just so we can get more eyes on it, more people back to our site for conversion. And then once you're running all this and you're ranking high on Google, you're building your content with all the keywords, and you do an analysis, right? So we'd love to track our keyword groupings, and it allows us to understand what's performing really well, what might need to be optimized, and where we do have gaps. So just looking here, right, so we see within all of our content related to board meetings itself, it's a high volume of searches that are happening, but we're just not ranking. We weren't ranking really well here. So we knew we needed to create more content and really understand those keywords and work those keywords better into our content strategy to get that up. I would say the same around corporate governance, right? So, but we're doing really, really good in board meeting minutes because we did all the research, we understood our groupings, we found partners that were also talking about minutes on their site that was driving traffic back to Diligent. And our average rank, we're on the doing pretty good on the board meeting minutes. So it's great to see where there's room for improvement, and there's always going to be room for improvement. You're never going to be running fully optimized. There's definitely ways to improve and drive more back to your site. And this is just an example of where we realized this, right? So you saw on the previous slide where we had the gap on corporate governance, and we really needed to have more top of the funnel activity. We're really good at being in front of someone when they're looking for board technology, but how do we create the need earlier in the funnel? So we spent a lot of time creating thought leadership content, really top of the funnel content to get individuals into our nurture streams, and then into pipe, and then to convert. So now we're going to focus on getting it done. We've realized we needed technology. We built the right pages. We understood all of our keywords and built a strategy on what we needed to create and why we needed to create it. And now it's about executing on that. So at Diligent, how we operationalize this and get it done, and this has not happened overnight, so this did take a while to build, but we are producing and pushing out content, about 4 pieces of content a day across our different brands, and that is, you know, in white papers and in blog posts, you'll see, you know, what we do quarterly on a few other things, but we have a really, really robust distribution of content, and how we did that was people internally. You don't have to write all this yourself. It's not looking for one person to write the content, but you need to build a network of content writers. So there are people internally that you'll be surprised that really enjoy writing a blog post a week or a blog post a month. Maybe it's someone in product. Maybe it's someone, even a sales rep loves to contribute to this as well. But also look outside. If you look out to your network, there are people that really enjoy writing about your particular topic. In our world, we do have some people who really enjoy writing about governance. And so we have brought them on and built up a pretty impressive freelance network bench of writers who are passionate and like writing. And then you look to see who's influencing your market, right? So who are some people that, individuals that your buyers are listening to online or hearing speak at conferences, and get them to help contribute and also promote your content. So this is 3 key things we have done to get our content out in the market. Okay, so we talked about the importance of pushing content out to drive users back to your site. And you'll see here at Diligent here, we really looked at it in 2 options, right? So you send an email out promoting content, you bring them to a landing page. You have your paid search going and directing them back to a landing page. And when we did some testing on this, we found out that option 2 here was better. If you bring your users back to the content that's sitting on one landing page instead of having it across multiple pages, it will just convert better. All the SEO value will be in that one page versus spread out across 3. It's going to allow you for better web testing, and overall, you'll see conversion better on that site. So we really recommend going with putting the piece of content onto one page, build that page up with all your SEO from what we talked about earlier, making sure your keywords are in the URL, making sure your keywords are in the H1 and H2 headers, and then driving everyone back to this one landing page. You'll see more success with that. And lastly, here is all about understanding and tracking your success and understanding how your content is performing. And we'll show you some ways where we have done that. So with our technology stack that we have, we're able to track here our share of voice and understand how our content is ranking and who are we ranking up against, right? So I was talking about Bright Edge earlier. Here we can see, okay, Diligent.com, how are we performing? How are we doing against our competitors? And it also allows you to see maybe not technically competitors, but what other sites or companies are ranking for your keywords. So for example, here you'll see that the software review sites are doing a really, really good job around SEO. So we see that, for example, here Capterra is doing a good job ranking for the words that we're ranking for. So making sure we're investing in those sites, that we have updated content on there, and that we're also paying to rank on those sites. So it gives you a little bit of the intelligence to understand where people are landing when they're searching for the keywords that you're competing for. And just looking here, our content strategy is really being used to drive awareness. We give very unique perspectives on our thought leadership and governance, and you'll see here just what we have been able to do by really focusing on our SEO and building the right content. And this is unbelievably impressive what we've been able to do, or getting organic traffic over time to our site. Now, again, this is not going to, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes you a while to build it up. and build up the content and making sure your site is optimized, right? So you'll see here what we've been able to do, and the big spike towards the end of the year is just we're getting a lot of people to our site, and our blog brings in an incredible amount of people on a quarter. Our blogs are now shared, but it's really all about starting simple, starting with understanding your customer, understanding what keywords, what people are looking for, and building that into your content and constantly optimizing. And so it's not just, obviously, it's really important. You can get all these people to your site, but you want to make sure you're getting the right people to your site that are converting. And you'll see here what we've been able to do from a pipeline perspective is really, really robustly build our pipeline. You'll see we had a little bit of a dip last June. We actually overhauled our entire Google AdWords account at that time, refreshed it, and we rebounded back pretty nicely. But our content from our blog that I just showed you is one of the driving factors for one of our businesses. So in summary, I know we went through this pretty quickly, and hopefully this was the foundation of giving you and showing you the tools and strategy to build a content strategy that drives that 81% of bookings for sales. Our content and digital strategy is the largest channel of bookings for sales and continues to grow. So hopefully this gave you the framework of how to get started and how to improve your content strategy that you have today. I can't stress enough that it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time to build, and you don't need to have technology out of the gate. You can, Google has a very good free tools to use to get started. And as you start to build your content library and start to see the results coming in, then you can make the business case to bring on more technology to help you just improve that and grow. But I can't stress enough the need to track it and test it. And then you're going to find some things along the way where you need to pivot. So again, hopefully you found the basic framework here helpful, and hope you get going and get started, and then you can also be celebrating with sales on their president's trip by delivering 81% of their bookings for them. So thank you, and hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to reach out directly with any content, any questions at all. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Just a reminder to our guests, you can engage with Amanda Carty with questions and or comments on her Slack channel on Analytics Nexus Slack. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of Analytics Nexus 2019.